Hi everyone and welcome to Almost Cancelled. I'm Peter and I'm joined with Mario.
What's up, guys?
And Connor.
Hey everyone.
This is a TV podcast here on the Mail Fuzz Podcast Network. Every week we review a bunch of shows and we talk about the week's TV news. If you're listening to the audio version, all the TV reviews will be at the end of the podcast. Use the timestamps below to get the following reviews for this week. We did the first episode of Netflix's new comedy drama, Love. We also have new episodes of 11, 22, 63, Better Call Saul, Supergirl, and Legends of Tomorrow. It's a little bit later this week because some of the CW shows are on a bit of hiatus for the next month. But we've got some new pilots next week, though. We're going to do Damien and Netflix's new show from Will Arnett, which his name I cannot remember.
Disgraceful.
I know, I'm terrible. But yeah, so you can check in the timestamps to get to those times on the audio version on YouTube. The links for all those will just be on the screen. Just click away to whatever ones you want. But that's all coming later then, all the TV reviews. So let's get on with the TV news. Which isn't a huge amount this week, but pretty meaty. At least this first one is. ABC has, in a strange move, decided to announce a bunch of renewals this early. Because normally it doesn't happen until about April, May. It's usually on the run-up to the last couple of episodes of a season where you're kind of worried, will this get renewed, will this get renewed? Luckily, the one that we really care about in here, that we don't have to worry about anymore, is Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. has been renewed for Season 4.
I think, wasn't this all done because they got a new head of the network or something and they're kind of putting their own stamp on it?
Possibly.
I think they definitely got a new head or who in charge of all this in the last couple of weeks.
But yeah, that's good news. Because the last couple of seasons, I remember last year specifically, just before the final, are we getting a third season? I'm not sure if we are. The ratings are not terrible, but they're not great either. And we were kind of dancing around it. And luckily we got the confirmation before the final aired, which is always nice. I hate not knowing at the end of the season final.
Yeah.
If that was the last episode ever, I hate that feeling.
Especially as a cliffhanger, a really good one. You're like,
Yeah. Yeah, it's bad. But no, so Season 4 Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. is a done deal. We're definitely getting that. So that's good. They renewed a bunch of other shows, which I'll just quickly list off here because we're not really overly concerned with most of them. America's Funniest Home Videos. Sure. The Bachelor, Blackish, Dancing with the Stars, Fresh Off the Boat, The Goldbergs, Grey's Anatomy. Jesus Christ, is that on like season 13 by now? Must be.
Something like that.
How to Get Away with Murder, Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. as mentioned, The Middle, Modern Family, Once Upon a Time, Scandal, and Shark Tank. And Quantico, sorry. It's worth noting though, it is worth noting that in that list, Castle is absent.
So is Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Agent Carter, sorry. It's also absent.
That's also absent.
And also the last, when it got announced and when it got renewed for season 2, they announced it at the exact same time as Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.'s next season. They announced them together.
Yeah, but Agent Carter had its worst ratings yet on its final. I think that's as good as dead.
Yeah, I agree.
yeah.
That's a goner.
Yeah, and then Most Wanted is confirmed, right? It wasn't just the pilot? Was it just, they did the pilot and then they confirmed that it's going to
series.
happen?
I don't remember if it's been ordered to series.
I know they at least ordered the pilot. I don't know if
I was under the impression that it was gone to series, but now I'm not sure.
If it hasn't, then I think it will be. I wouldn't worry about it too much.
because I'm looking forward to that too.
Yeah.
It feels like that's going to replace Agent Carter in the gap, so to speak.
Maybe.
Which honestly would be cooler because it'll probably be a side story with them too.
Yeah.
And maybe a couple other agents, and it'll just be kind of more of the same for us.
Yeah, that would be good. Although, because they have to shoot that, they'd have to be missing from quite a big chunk of the actual main season as well. So I'm wondering if it is actually just another full show, or I don't know what they're going to do with it. Maybe it will be the mid-season sort of in between.
Even if it is in the mid-season, they'll still have to miss a chunk, but not as much as if it was running the whole season alongside it.
They could be there for the first few episodes, they could be back for the last batch, but they'd have to miss like a batch on either side of the middle, if that makes sense.
But it might be worth it if they set up something really cool.
Yeah, could
for
be.
The second half.
But anyway, that's pretty cool. So that's good. Also worth noting that the other things missing from that list are the Muppets, Nashville, Dr. Ken, Last Man Standing, and Gallivant.
I know for a fact Dr. Ken's doing pretty bad in the ratings. Yeah, I wouldn't expect that to get a renewal anytime soon.
I heard that was pretty garbage.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it looked terrible. The Muppets, slightly a shame, because from what I've seen of that, it was actually...
They completely retooled it after the break.
Yeah, so they did.
They changed the showrunner, changed the style of comedy, everything.
I haven't seen what it's been like since it changed. I've only seen the first batch, so I can't really speak to it, but... Hey, so Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. is safe, which is probably the network show we care most about now. I'm comfortable with the CW stuff coming back. I'm not worried about those. Maybe iZombie, but certainly Flash and Flash is the main one. I'm not worried about
Arrow's safe regardless, unfortunately.
Yeah, Arrow's safe, much to my dismay. Now, network-wise, it's now Supergirl that I want to hear a renewal for.
Yeah, definitely. It's the only one left I actually really care about that I want to. iZombie as well, like you said, but
yeah,
I feel like that's safer than Supergirl.
Yeah, that feels safer than Supergirl. It can still go either way, to be fair, but obviously I want another season of that too. Alright, next up on the news then, AMC's greenlit a new series. It's an anthology, and by anthology I mean in the style of American Horror Story or Scream Queens, season anthology rather than episode by episode anthology, called The Terror. And it's based on a best-selling novel by Dan Simmons. Oh dear, that's a name. Written by David Kajganik, or Kanich. It's a cool name. I don't know how to pronounce it. It's a cool name. The series is set in 1847 when a Royal Naval Expedition crew searching for the Northwest Passage is attacked by a mysterious predator that stalks the ships and their crew in a suspenseful and desperate game of survival. And it is going to be 10 episodes long and premiere in 2017. This sounds like Alien, but on a ship in the 19th century. I don't know how it's going to last 10 episodes, but I'm definitely game to try it.
My question is...
Tim's going to be all over that too.
Yeah. My question is, if it's an anthology and it's based on a book, what do you do in the second season?
Is there a second book?
I don't know, but if there was, the second book tends to just be a sequel rather than...
Well, what if it's not a second book? Like it's not. Well, maybe it's not the Terror Part 2. What if it's the author just does a lot of horror stories, and the second season would be just another one of his books?
Yeah, it could be. That's true.
Or maybe I don't know. Maybe they just do something original. I don't know. But I'm cool for another horror anthology series, and this one is different because it's not a slasher. It's not a serial killer.
Feels like we've got a lot of anthology stuff lately. Actually, there's been a couple announced.
Joe, I think TV networks are starting to like them because people can jump onto new seasons without having to catch up.
It's strange that that's coming about now when you can think people have never been able to catch up easier.
Yeah, that's true.
That's true, but
and,
there's
and
also
they never
a lot more
used to worry.
There's a lot more to compete with now too.
That's true.
Yeah. Especially when you get like Netflix dumping, like it's all dumped. Like you get every time Netflix gets a show, it's all there.
Yeah.
That's true.
But no, I thought that sounded cool. I mean, obviously, it could be terrible. It could be Into the Badlands, but it could be, really fun, really good. So, definitely worth giving that a try. We'll definitely be doing the pilot if nothing else. But as long as it's not bad, we should be covering that. So, that's The Terror coming from AMC. And last up in the news this week, yeah, it's nice to have a quiet news week. That pilot season was really doing us in, wasn't it? We don't really care about this so much, but it's such a thing that's in the news. I feel like I want to mention it. Fuller House has been renewed for a second season at Netflix, because despite everyone seeming to dislike it, it's all over Twitter and social media, and presumably a lot of people are watching it to check out what it's like. Yep. So Netflix have renewed it.
They could have picked up something else and brought something else back, well, something we care about.
The funny thing is, though, is that me and Connor, specifically, have never seen an episode of Full House. No. The original Full House, because it was never a thing in the UK. It never made it over here, for some reason. Maybe because it was bad.
Because it wasn't good enough, yeah.
Yeah. So, I don't know. Mario, did you ever see Full House?
Not really. I think I kind of vaguely watched a couple episodes when I was but that was when I was a kid.
Yeah, but you remember it being on and just sort of existing.
Yeah, I mean, it existed. It was a pretty popular show here.
Yeah.
But I'd never really watched it.
Yeah. I mean, if this is making them money and they can pump that money into more cool shit like Daredevil, then whatever. Sure. This doesn't offend me as much as The Ridiculous Six being their most successful movie of all time on Netflix. That offended me deeply.
It's because it's the perfect movie to put on when you're drunk with friends. Just utter shite that is ridiculous that you can laugh at.
Awful. I am ashamed of the human race.
The entire human race.
Yeah. The entire human race. What a cesspool of shitbags we all are for making that successful.
It's a pretty severe claim there.
That's the news. So, we'll go into this week's TV reviews. As I said at the start, if you're on the audio, use the timestamps to jump ahead or around if you want to avoid spoilers, or just skip the ones you don't care about. If you're on YouTube, the links will be roughly where I'm pointing to in the other corner of the screen, so you can click on them to whatever ones you want to watch. So with that said, this is this week's TV reviews.